My hens and ducks have just done a bit of a raid on the last of my rhubarb, and they've stripped the leaves bare. All they've got left are these skeletons. Now we don't actually use the leaves for anything because there's an oxalic acid in it, which is a slight poison. The hens and ducks have done this before and never come off any worse for it, but the oxalic acid that you get in rhubarb leaves is used as an insecticide to kill the varroa mite that affects beehives, and we actually add it to a sugar solution which we then put on the hives in the autumn. Anyway, what we're going to do today is use the rest of our rhubarb crop up, and in the past we've frozen it, we've made it into chutneys, into jams, but today we're going to have a go at bottling some of our rhubarb. Back in the kitchen, chop your rhubarb into about 3 centimetre long pieces. Next you need to make a syrup, so for every litre of water you will need to add 500 grams of sugar, and then bring that to the boil and leave it to simmer for about 2 minutes. Once the syrup's had 2 minutes to simmer, pour it over your rhubarb and then leave that to stand for about 3 or 4 hours. Well, after the rhubarb's been standing in the syrup for a few hours, spoon out the rhubarb, pack it into storage jars like that, and then reboil the syrup. When the syrup's boiled, pour it over the rhubarb in the jars and make sure that all the rhubarb is covered. In the bottom of a deep pan, put a tablecloth and then put your jars in. Make sure that the lids are closed, and then add hot water, and you need a pan that is deeper than the height of your jars, because your jars are going to be covered totally in water. You put the pan on the cooker and gradually bring the temperature up to 90 degrees centigrade. Now the reason for the cloth is to keep the jars off the hard bottom of the pan, because if they're heated up and there's contact with the bottom of the pan, the jars could shatter. And it's also the reason why you make sure there's no contact between the jars as well. I've got the thermometer in the water and it's showing that it's just hit 90 degrees centigrade now, so we're going to leave it at that temperature for 3 minutes. And here we have, hot out of the pan, one of the 4 jars have made. In fact, it's still bubbling inside, so it's cooked inside, so that will preserve it and it will last for about a year. Put it in a dark cupboard though, but old-fashioned way rather than trying to freeze it.